Hi guys, another Irish shrimp. Tonight the Faughan shrimp. This here is a size 10 Esmond Jury treble, but you can tie it on whatever type of hook you want. So the head on this one is black, so we're going to start off with a black thread, and we're going to be using gold oval tinsel when we're tying this one. Now the gold oval tinsel will tie the butt and the ribbing of the two sections. So we're going to tie in our gold tinsel on the top there, and then do this sort of wiggle wrap until you get back in between the points of the hooks, and come forward again. Now these turns can come back off. So we're going to wrap our tinsel on, but wrap it backwards. Now you have to do this sort of a wiggly wrap, but you get it up in here into the arms of the hook, it will actually slide down the taper of that, or the curvature of the hook, sorry. You get about 3 turns or so on, then come between the two top ones. I'm going to take my tie-in silk off to about the halfway roughly, and tie that in there and give it a bit of a pull just to tighten it. So as you can see, this is our tinsel coming up over the back of the ribs. That holds it in place, and because the tinsel tie-in then is straight up the center of the hook, what you'll find then is that it doesn't create lumps and bumps, whereas if you brought it underneath, obviously it wraps round in a curvature, and because this is a floss body play, it would look a bit off to me. So next we're going to tie a little bit of pearl crystal hair. Tie that in the middle, fold it back so there's 2 strands pointing straight back, and I'm going to tie in. Now I haven't tied it in the whole way back because we're going to attach our golden pheasant breast feather or rump feather, whatever. And as we tie it in back, it will also tie that tinsel in, and that'll give us, well, it'll save us a few wraps and therefore less bulk. So we'll tie that in there, and then take that back. Now this is awkward wrapping it in through, so I'm using my fingers and thumbs, winding it in through the points of the hooks. Then I'll tie it in and tie that forward to our midpoint, snip off the stalk, and then I just stick the scissors in there. Now there's a variety of ways of doing this. You'll have seen me blowing the feathers before, but it's just to sort of separate them out, get a nice even splay around our hook. So I'll take that out a bit for you. Now we'll pull all these fibres back, and then we're going to get our gold rib again and tie that in. Again, I'm tying it in from about the midpoint there where my hackle is roughly going to be, and then I'm going to wind back and right up to the hackle. Sometimes I'll actually tie over the last turn of stalk, but I'm just trying to make sure here that I have a fairly smooth layer of silk. So rear portion of this fly is an orange silk. I'm actually going to use this is a number 6 Glow Bright, but any sort of an orange silk will do. So I took about 10 inches or so, 12 inches of silk, and I folded that over, so as you can see it's caught on its midpoint, looped across my tying thread. So then I'll hold my tying thread at the midpoint of the fly and push this up along my tying thread, and then a couple of turns to secure it in place. And now I'm wrapping 2 turns of silk backwards. Again, you'll have to sort of do that sort of wiggle wrap in between the points of the hook, get to the rear, and then reverse round and wrap forwards. So the first layer back smooths out, it makes a base for the finishing layer, and also what it does, because there's a double thickness of silk, then when the fly gets wet, the colour should be truer as well, because silks tend to transmit the colour of what's underneath them. So some people would actually tie orange and yellow sections with white thread under it, or some people even put pearl or put crystal or put something along the lines of that, tinsel, silver even, underneath them. So we'll take our gold ribbon forward then and tie that off at the midpoint. Run the tinsel forward a little bit, because again we're trying not to make lumps, because the front section of this fly is also a floss section. Next we're looking for an orange hackle. Now it's up to yourself how orange you do this. This can be anything from a sort of a burnt orange through to a gingery colour. I'm actually going to use an orange badger hackle, because I really like the structure of badger capes, saddles for our shrimp flies, because they're still sort of spiky cock fibres, but they're thin stalked, they're quite dense, they're easy to wrap, and they have a little bit more softness to them perhaps than Chinese capes. So tie that hackle in, secure it in place, and then we're going to wrap that. Now again, my fingers and thumbs maybe get in the road a little bit here, but there's a purpose to it. What I'm doing is just folding back the hackle as I wrap it, so that it lies a bit better in position for me. Then I'm going to tie it in there. Snap that off. You can cut that off if you want. It just depends how comfortable you are with tensions on your thread. So as you can see, makes a nice, just a nice little hackle. Length up to yourself. Some people go for quite large hackles compared to the size of the hook. I'm sort of probably somewhere in the middle. Right, so again we want to put in a gold rib, so the same ribbon material. This has been like a medium gold. Tie that in place, and the front section is a claret or dark claret floss. So same trick again, we'll take our length of floss, put it onto our thread and slide it down, and here I am just making sure that the front body is nice and smooth with that little bit of taper coming down to the front, and then we'll wrap here. Now this one is not, because we've black underneath it and with a dark floss, it wasn't as important to go back over itself, but we're still wrapping 2 thicknesses of floss by slightly overlapping. Tie that in at the front, and then take our gold rib, and usually 2 to 3 turns probably is all you're going to get out on these short front sections. Tie that off, bend it forward a bit, a few more wraps forward to secure it, and snip it off. So at this point it's up to yourself whether you use like a roofing technique for your jungle cock, so put 2 feathers on here like a V, or tie them in as eyes. Generally, as I move towards smaller size flies, I'll move towards eyes over roofing. So probably roof size 8s and above, and eyes on, well, 10s and lower. So we're taking a dark claret, sort of a hackle now, and again doubling that. Now I do have technique videos. I might even get a link up in here for you with regards doubling hackles. Takes a bit of practice, but worth it in the end for making your hackles do what you want them to do, basically. So we'll take our claret hackle, and now wrap on as many turns as you are comfortable with. As I say, some guys really sparse shrimp fillets, 1 turn, but I would say generally 2 to 3 turns is about right. Go much above that, the hackle tends to obscure the body. So tie that off, and that is the fillet ready then for our jungle cock. Fibre out of place there, I'll just get rid of that. So a good set of tweezers is useful. We're going to put on jungle cock eyes, and here I'm going to go towards the bottom end of our jungle cock cape and take one from each side of the cape. Take those 2 little feathers, and I'm going to strip off all the sort of useless fluff at the bottom end of it. I'll set that there. Now some people will put this on in 2 or 2 at once. You can do that if you want. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this little feather and I'm going to tie it in across this, just nicking this V of the enamelled portion, and if you can manage that, you'll find that your jungle cock won't kick and splay all over the place as much as it would if you try and tie it in further down the stalk, because the nature of the shape of the stalk itself is a little bit flattened, and it prefers to lie in the other orientation, not flat. So that's our 2 eyes on. If you want, you can double these stalks back. I'm just going to nick these off here, but if you're going to do that, what I would suggest is that you get on some sort of cement or glue at this stage. So I'm going to finish the head off with super glue. So I am going to take a little bit of thread and just run my super glue brush along 1.5 inches or so of it there. I'll take the back turner, so definitely has to be hitting those jungle cock just to keep them in place, and then the front turn over the cut ends of the jungle cock, and then a couple of 1/2 inches to finish the flank. So that is our Faughan shrimp tied. Now I need to finish the head, so that needs a few more coats of clear varnish. That'll just have to dry off before we take into that. I also have a video on finishing heads if you want to look through the techniques, but essentially that's the fly tied. As per usual, you like what you see, use the like and subscribe buttons, tell your friends, the more the merrier, and until we see you again, tight lines, and thanks for watching.